Hello everyone, my name is Shani and today I'm bringing you some more, reactions to R1SE. This time it is a song called
中国话
which literally translates to Chinese language. I don't know if that's the actual title. I'm going to have to double check what it is, but I'm excited because there's the title rap in it, so I'm very excited to see how this goes. This also has some traditional elements from what I was told. I think a lot of you know that I really do admire those kind of songs. So I'm going to get straight into this. Without further ado, this is R1SE with the song. Here we go. Originally by SHE. Ooh, I think I've done a reaction to them before, actually. To SHE, I think. Ooh. Whoa. Is that really? Okay, I was thinking like if you really did that thing, I was gonna be like, whoa. I'm assuming the characters are in the back are kind of like the basic letters or characters of Chinese. Wow, I really admire these two, especially this one. Ooh! Wow. They really added everything. Wow. Wow. Whoa. I feel so lucky to be able to witness this. This is because, like, from what I can understand, like, if the translated title of the song is literally Chinese language, I feel like this was just the perfect song to kind of, I guess you can say, like, introduce the culture. Like, they had everything that I guess you can say China is known for. They had the, what is it called? Like the dragon dance? Is that what it's called? They had obviously the martial arts. They had the Peking opera singing. Like, I really admire especially the one who does that operatic singing, because, like, not only I feel like it's very hard to do, but it's all because, like, I know with what I know from Peking opera, like, normally it's like it's very controlled, meaning, like, especially when it's performed on stage, it's very controlled, especially the emotions, the singing itself too. It's also a very high range. And, like, normally, like, the mouth doesn't even move much. So to be able to sing that and, also, dance, meaning, dance is to be able to sing that without, catching his breath, means, like, he has very good control of his technique, I guess you can say. I believe this song's originally by SHE or She. I don't think I've actually done a reaction to them now that I think about it. Let me double check. Have I not? I don't think I have. SHE. I don't think I have. I feel like I have though. Hold on. Sorry, I'm really double checking to make sure. Oh no, I've done sing. So I have not done. So let me see what this song, because I feel like also, like, the raps as well, kind of, I feel like was also a play on, like, a lot of the characters. Because I noticed certain like characters were, like, in brackets, so I wonder if, like, their rap had to, like, formed around those. And I also noticed in the stage, different characters in the background, which I would assume, I'm assuming, is, like, the different, I guess, basic characters in the Chinese language. Like, I know this is probably going to be a bit sensitive, but, like, if you look at other, I guess, Asian languages, the ones I'm most familiar with is obviously Korean and Japanese. So if you look at those, they have, like, although they have different, I guess you can say, like, combinations of, like, characters, there are, like, the basic ones that most people when learning the language start with. Also, it is called Chinese language. Let me see if there is. So I'm looking at the translation of the lyrics. A caring. Oh my god, this is not the perfect English. Like, it's gonna hurt my brain to try to correct it. Let me see. Flatbird and whiteboard bench. Wait. Is this legitimately, like, this whole song is literally just random, like, putting together, like, certain characters? Because I know in the Chinese language, the tone of how you say things, like, really changes your sentence. So I'm looking at these translations, and for me, one of them doesn't make, like, zero sense to me. The other one kind of makes sense. But it still does not make sense to me. But from what I can understand is that it's literally just talking about the Chinese language. Like I said, the how they presented the song is like literally just a play on the characters and like how they say certain things. Like I couldn't hear it very well, but I feel like they probably like changed the tone of some of their words, and it becomes a whole new sentence and a whole new meaning. That's why it's actually one of the hardest languages to learn, I would think. Yeah, because literally the first part is talking about a pole, but then it's like carrying a pole is wide, a bench is long, the pole wants to be tied to the bench, you're carrying a pole, and it's like it repeats. And then there's like another part that's like, it's becoming popular to speak Chinese. For so many years, we practice English pronunciation and grammar. Oh, that's interesting. I guess because like I feel like nowadays there's a lot more emphasis to speak English, mainly because it's becoming the global language, which I hate because it gives like certain people a certain, I want to say, demographic kind of that entitlement, like when they're in a foreign country, they're like, oh, they don't speak English, why should I learn? You know, that kind of entitlement. I hate that. And you know, like people like me go overseas to teach English, and I feel like that's kind of bad. But like, I feel like in the context of this, it's like people are learning English, but they forget their mother tongue. And like this is talking about in the last few years, they in turn rolled the tongue to learn changing from flat to up to varying tones. So, like I said, tones in Chinese language, there's so many. Like you can accidentally say a curse word when you're trying not to say a curse word. Like you might curse someone's mom or something. You might do that by accident because you said the wrong tone. So this becoming, yeah, so I guess this, I would want to think this is definitely talking about not only like a play on the tones of the words in Chinese, but also like showing like, you know, it's now popular to speak Chinese, it's now popular to learn it, you know, because for years people are learning English. Like I said, when it comes to learning English, obviously there's people like me who come overseas to teach English. And, you know, it's good to teach English, but the number one thing I don't want my kids, you know, to forget is, you know, their mother tongue. There's one regret I have in my life is not learning my mother tongue. Like, because a lot of my cousins don't want to learn English, and, you know, I respect them for that choice. It's like, I don't want to force them to speak English. It's like, I want to make more effort to learn my mother tongue. And, you know, be able to communicate with them, but I forgo it. I'm gonna go, I think I've talked about this before, but forgetting my mother tongue. My parents used to or my mom at least, used to teach my brother and I when we were younger, so I knew a lot more when I was younger. I knew how to say, like, you know, can I go to the bathroom, you know, can you turn off the light, you know, those kind of sentences. But as I grew older, like, because my mom would only teach specifically her mother language, her native language, she'd forget to teach us, you know, English with it. So me and my brother got confused. And then as we grew older, my mom was worried about us, you know, developing an accent because we knew a second language, so she stopped teaching us altogether. So that's the one regret in my life. Like, I would want to try to learn it, but I'm currently living in Korea, and like for me personally, it's like I really should get on it because I need to, you know, speak with the rest of my family who are still in the Philippines, or like they still like hold on to that. Like for me, my brother knows more than I do because he took a whole course in it in university. For me, I know more Korean than I know Filipino. Like I don't think I forgot to mention mother tongue. My mother's native tongue, my parents' native language is Tagalog, Filipino. So I stopped deciding to learn mainly because I'm learning Korean because I do live and work in Korea. But at some point in my life, I would love to relearn Tagalog. Like I said, my brother knows more because he took a whole course in college, and he does do a little bit of language study here and there to keep it up. For me, I'm terrible with languages. Like I can barely speak Korean. I can barely understand Korean, mainly because my job requires me to speak English. So, you know, it's just the whole thing. It's just like, just the whole language thing is just so interesting for me, especially like Chinese. For me personally, Chinese for me is very interesting. Like I said, like the tones and everything. Like there's so many characters, so many combinations. Yet the main important thing I feel like in Chinese is the tones. Like I said, you could end up accidentally cursing someone's mom if you say the wrong thing. So it's like, I feel like, yeah, this was definitely like a play on words, it's a play on tones. It's very interesting how they included a lot of, I think, things that China is definitely very known for. I really admire the two that were singing the Peking opera. Like I said, for me, I feel like it's very controlled. Like it's very, I don't want to say stiff, but yeah, controlled is, I think, is the best word. And for them to be able to not only do like the modern kind of singing and then do the Peking opera, you know, while after dancing too, it's just like you can see how good their breathing technique is, or like how good they are in controlling, you know, how they sing, that kind of thing. So yeah, I've talked a lot about many different things, but you know, this song in particular, actually looking up the translations and whatnot, and then you realize, you know, a lot of people tend to forego their native language in order to learn English. And you know, I would admire those who I do admire those who speak a second language, like my parents. And actually living in America for so long, my mom is still terrified to speak her own language in public and even to talk in English because of her accent. That's why she mainly stopped teaching my brother and I, because you know how most Americans are. I'm not gonna get into that, but yeah, it's like definitely one of the regrets in my life, and I do hope that one day, once I master, you know, Korean, that I can be able to go back and learn Tagalog at least well enough to be able to converse with my family that is still in the Philippines. Because I remember I went to say hello to one of my cousins, like I haven't seen in like 11 years. But like the most she could say was hi and hello, like how are you, that kind of thing. She wouldn't talk more than that because, you know, the saying is in the Philippines, it's like nosebleed. So, and you know, for me, I have like American accent. I don't have a Tagalog accent, or have a Tagalog accent. I don't have a Filipino accent, or if an accent that appears when one speaks Tagalog as their first language. I don't have that, so my English is a bit harder for them to understand. There's something, oh my gosh, I'm going to a language tangent now. Hope you guys don't mind, but it's just this thing. It's like for me, when speaking English, when it's, you know, just me and the camera, obviously reacting and stuff, I tend to speak a little bit faster, and like my normal speed, I guess you can say. When I teach English or I speak to someone whose English isn't how do I want to put it? If I talk to someone who can't really understand enough English, I tend to speak a bit slower, and I tend to enunciate a lot, and I use gestures a lot. I think that's a kind of occupational hazard too. I kind of go into teaching mode when I speak to someone whose English isn't as good. But it's just the kind of thing. It's just like, I admire that you are learning English. Just please do not forget your native language. It's definitely one of my regrets in life. It's like, I wish I kind of kept up with studying Tagalog. But for now, I put that aside because of where I live and where I work, but I hope to one day be able to, you know, get into it. Wow, this went to a whole different tangent, but I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from, or what I understand where I'm going with this, because, you know, this song in itself, I do believe it's like I said, a play in tones, a play in words, you know, kind of introducing, you know, the Chinese culture. And it's like, yes, you'll practice English grammar and English language very hard, and you forget that first language, your first native language. But now it's becoming popular to learn Chinese, and this is like, you know, the number one thing I would say for those who are trying to learn English: don't forget your native language, because if you might be like me. Obviously, English is my native language, you know, because that's what I grew up in speaking and whatnot. If I had the chance to go back in time, I would definitely keep asking my mom to continue to teach us Tagalog. Like, I don't care if I have an accent. I will deal with that on my own. Like, I would just love to be able to talk to my family more. So, yeah, if you're learning English, you know, I really admire you. I know how hard it is. It's hard for me to teach. It's hard for me to teach. You know, like, there's certain rules that we have that we unconsciously do, but to explain it is a whole other concept. But yeah, anyway, I hope you understand where I'm coming from, you know, what kind of things I was trying to go for this. This was a wonderful performance, definitely showcased a lot of the culture of China, and I do definitely want to see more from this show. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you did, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.